This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Alas Pilipinas dominates Australia, closing in on VTV Cup quarters. Fernandez, Auger-Aliassime, Diallo advanced to round 2 at Wimbledon. In the WNBA, Cleveland, Detroit, Philadelphia to join WNBA starting 2028. In MLB, Scherzer deals. Blue Jays edge Yankees 5-4 in American League East thriller. And in the NBA, blockbuster trade shocks the NBA. Cam Johnson heads to Denver. Michael Porter Jr. moves to Brooklyn. While Victor Wembanyama goes worldwide, scores free kick banger and celebrates Ronaldo style. And joining us live in the studio tonight is International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation and ADCC Hall of Fame inductee Rubens Cobrinha Charles. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 1st of July. Now, here's our roundup. With every spike, every dig, and every roar, Alas Pilipinas proved they're still in the hunt for glory. Alas kept their VTV Cup dreams alive, crushing Australia in straight sets, 25-13, 25-15, 25-20 to stay in strong contention for a quarterfinal spot at the Vinh Phuc Gymnasium in Vietnam. The Filipinas now hold a 2-1 record in Pool A, trailing host Vietnam, who earlier defeated them. Alas needs a win from Vietnam over Sichuan to secure a spot in the playoffs, while a Sichuan upset would trigger a 3-way tie. If they advance, Alas faces Thailand's under-21 squad, EST Kola, in the quarterfinals on July 3. Alas dominated from start to finish, opening with a 14-4 blast and never letting Australia recover. MJ Phillips, Leylah Cruz, Vanny Gandler, and Aliyah Malaluan led the offensive barrage, while the Aussies struggled with errors. The Filipinas unleashed a 9-2 run midway through the second set, breaking away from a tight start to seize control. In the final frame, timely kills and steady defense sealed the deal as the Philippines shut down every Australian comeback attempt. The stats back it up. Alas out-attacked Australia 39-25 and kept errors low at just 12 compared to the Aussies' 18. With momentum building, Alas Pilipinas takes a breather on July 2, awaiting their fate with eyes fixed on the final pool match. Now in tennis, it was a strong start for Canada at Wimbledon as 3 stars powered through to the second round. Phil-Canadian Leylah Fernandez cruised past British teen Hannah Klugman 6-1, 6-3, blasting 23 winners and breaking serve 5 times in just over an hour. The 22-year-old from Laval has never been beyond round 2 at the All-England club, but looked sharp and confident throughout. She now turns her attention to Germany's Laura Siegemund in the second round. Fernandez, who carries Filipino heritage through her mother, is currently seeded 29th and is aiming for a deeper grass court run this season. Meanwhile, Felix Auger-Aliassime survived a 5-set thriller against Australia's James Duckworth 6-2, 3-6, 6-7, 6-4, 6-4. The 2021 Wimbledon quarterfinalist hit 69 winners and 26 aces despite committing 54 unforced errors in the 3-hour, 42-minute duel. Next up, he faces German veteran Jan-Lennard Struff. Gabriel Diallo dominated his Wimbledon main draw debut, routing Daniel Altmaier 6-1, 6-2, 6-4. The 23-year-old from Montreal slammed 30 winners, 7 aces, and converted 6 of 12 breakpoints. Ranked world number 40 after winning his first ATP title last month, Diallo awaits the winner of Taylor Fritz versus Giovanni Pecci Pericard. In Major League Baseball, Max Scherzer looked sharp in a second game back, fanning 7 over 5 strong innings to help Toronto kick off a crucial series with a 5-2 win over the Yankees. Scherzer delivered a vintage performance, striking out 7 batters with no walks in 5 innings as the Toronto Blue Jays took down the New York Yankees 5-4 to open a pivotal American League East series. In just his second start since returning from a thumb injury, the 40-year-old righty kept the Yankees quiet through 3 frames before a 2-run homer by Jazz Chisholm Jr. put New York ahead. Scherzer limited the damage, allowing just 2 runs on 3 hits before exiting with Toronto trailing 2-0. The Blue Jays answered with a run in the 5th, then erupted for 4 in the 6th, highlighted by a clutch 2-run single from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. The win moved Toronto to 46-38, now just 2 games behind the Yankees in the American League East standings. Scherzer may not have earned the win, but his dominant outing set the tone for a team hungry to climb the division ladder. The WNBA is growing and 3 new cities are set to join the league over the next few years: Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia.
So it is my honor to officially announce that the WNBA is expanding from our currently announced 15 teams to 18 teams over the next few years. So on behalf of the entire WNBA, I'm thrilled to welcome Cleveland and Detroit back and to welcome Philadelphia.
Cleveland will tip off in 2028, backed by Cavaliers owner Dan Gilbert. The team will play at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse and train at a retrofitted Cavs facility in Independence, Ohio. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert called them a ready-made operation with strong data supporting their market potential. Detroit returns to the league in 2029, led by Pistons owner Tom Gores and joined by minority partners Grant Hill, Chris Webber, and Jared Goff. The team will play at Little Caesars Arena with a brand new practice facility in the works. And Philadelphia will launch in 2023 under 76ers owner Josh Harris. The team is slated to play in a new downtown arena with training support from the Sixers' Camden facility. With 3 major markets on deck, the WNBA's future sure got a whole lot bigger. In the NBA, just when you thought free agency couldn't get any hotter, the Brooklyn Nets and Denver Nuggets have pulled off a stunner that's turning heads across the league. In a trade that exploded onto the scene just as NBA free agency got underway, the Brooklyn Nets are sending Cam Johnson to the Denver Nuggets in exchange for Michael Porter Jr. and a future first-round draft pick. It's a major forward-for-forward swap that reunites Johnson with the Western Conference, where he once helped the Phoenix Suns reach the NBA Finals in 2021. Meanwhile, Porter Jr. gets a new chapter in Brooklyn, a team that's clearly shifting into full rebuild mode. Cam Johnson is coming off a career year, dropping 18.8 points per game in 57 contests last season. The sharpshooting wing arrived in Brooklyn as part of the Kevin Durant blockbuster in 2023. But with the Nets moving on from Mikal Bridges earlier this summer, it was only a matter of time before Johnson followed. Now, as for Porter, the former 14th overall pick has battled injuries and personal turmoil off the court, but still managed to post 18.2 points per game in 77 starts last season. He'll bring size, scoring, and fresh motivation to a Brooklyn squad looking to build for the future. The Nets also gained Denver's 2032 first-round pick, adding yet another asset to their growing war chest. And just like that, the balance of power continues to shift in the NBA as 2 high-profile forwards trade coasts and open the door to brand new possibilities. Meanwhile, from blocking shots to bending goals, Victor Wembanyama is making magic even on vacation. After a grueling NBA season, 7'4" San Antonio Spurs star Wembanyama took a well-deserved break in Asia and turned heads in more ways than one. In China, Wemby shaved his head at the Shaolin Temple, wore monk robes, and trained Kung Fu, Chan meditation, and ancient medicine. Fans called him the tallest monk ever. But the internet went wild when he scored a curling free kick on a soccer field, then nailed Ronaldo's Siuuu celebration. Even while traveling, Wemby stayed locked in on fitness and focus, blending spiritual growth with NBA-level prep. He's set to return for Summer League in Vegas, on or off the court. Victor Wembanyama continues to redefine greatness. And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What move in artistic swimming makes waves by launching athletes out of the water without using their hands? It's called the barracuda. And no, it's not just a fast fish. The barracuda is a jaw-dropping move where a swimmer starting upside down underwater in a vertical position explodes straight up out of the pool using only leg power and core strength. The height achieved, the speed of the rise, and the perfectly vertical alignment make it one of the most dramatic and technically difficult moves in the sport. In a sport known for grace and beauty, the barracuda reminds everyone just how strong and athletic, artistic swimmers truly are. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. Here's the talk on the paddock. Max Verstappen to Mercedes, Bottas to Alpine, and the denied request from Sauber to McLaren. F1 just got even hotter after Austria with shocking rumors, bold moves, and the driver market ready to ignite. Karen Chandhawk believes Verstappen's future could be shaped by the 2026 rule changes, even if Toto Wolff is downplaying it. Sauber's Jonathan Wheatley asked McLaren not to lap his driver, but Zach Brown said no. Still, Gabriel Bortoleto gave Sauber a reason to smile with a strong drive. Valtteri Bottas is keeping his options open, now linked to a possible 2026 seat with Alpine, while talks with Cadillac continue. Christian Horner praised McLaren's race execution, pointing to their tire management and the Piastri-Norris Chase duo as proof of their rising power. And in big news, F1 announced an expanded testing window for 2026 with 11-day split between Barcelona and Bahrain to help teams adapt to the new era. So much talk, speculation, and big information, and F1 fans are here for it. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 1st of July. Up next, joining us live in the studio tonight is International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation and ADCC Hall of Fame inductee, Rubens Cobrinha Charles. So better keep it right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. He has a long list of accomplishments in his sport, but let us start with him being a 5-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu World Champion, the first Super Grand Slam champion, and inductee into the IBJJF and ADCC Hall of Fame, considered as one of the 5 greatest grapplers of all time. Please welcome to the BNC studio, Professor Rubens Cobrinha Charles. Sir, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you for having me.
It's a huge honor. We are in the midst of greatness right now, and this is very timely considering the fact that recently on our show, The Scorecard, we've had a lot of features with regards to Jiu-Jitsu. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, Professor Cobrinha, what brings you to Manila? What is on your bucket list or in terms of your checklist with regards to your activities here?
So here, every time I come into Filipinas, sometimes we go to the islands. Yeah?
Okay.
And this time, unfortunately, we won't go to the islands. But what I love about the Filipino people, it's the culture. And we have similar culture to Brazilians, which is a very warm welcome. And yeah, so and then I come over here to see one of my affiliates, which is Mark.
Yeah.
And then yes, do the seminar as well, and then teach. And then also, the more you teach, the more you learn, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here as well, to evolve with them as well.
And I know this coming July 6, you have an alliance seminar, but then you're gonna have a general assembly a day before. And Cobrinha alliance. Is this something you're going to launch soon?
So yeah, so we have the affiliation with Alliance, I mean Cobrinha, and then now it's gonna be launched as Alliance. So we have been Alliance for many years, and then people don't get confused that sometimes they say Cobrinha and Alliance, it's one. We have been fighting under Alliance for so many years, my whole life.
Okay.
And yes, so this weekend we're gonna launch the Alliance here in Philippines.
So it's going to be known as Alliance from here on out.
Correct, that's right, that's right.
All right. Now, I do want to ask, because as I mentioned, we've been having a lot of jiu-jitsu content here on the show as of late. Recently, I went to Grapple Island, and Isaac Doderline was there. I had a sit down with him as well. You were the one who gave him his black belt, is that right?
That's correct. So Isaac came to me to train with me when it was a purple belt.
Yeah, wow.
And then he had the dream. He moved from Texas to California, and then he has a dream to be a world champion, and we keep working.
Yeah.
And one day, of course, he got promoted to a black belt, and then yes, he made his dream coming true as well, which is become a world champion.
Yeah, that's very interesting, because I remember one of my last questions to him during my interview was, you're entering your prime.
Okay.
So in your prime years, what's the top of the list in terms of the achievement that you want to chase? And he says that one day he wants to be a UFC champion.
Oh, really?
So
Okay,
that's what
okay,
he said.
okay,
That's what
okay.
he said. So your thoughts on that, Prof?
I think as long as you have the dream, I think everything started with the dream. We have the dream, beautiful. Okay, so now it's the consistency, the consistent discipline. If you have those things, combined, then you're gonna take it to the next level. I think anything in life, it's possible.
Yeah. So and also during the time that we were with him and did that interview, it wasn't out yet, but there was the first ever UFC Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu series, which I believe is out right now, and you also have connections there. Mikey Musumeci. I hope I'm saying his name right, but let's just say Mikey.
Right.
Mikey competed in the final, and you were in his corner. So
Correct.
could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So Mike has been training with us, and I was in Greece. And then he said, Cobrinha, can you come and then also help me during this match I'm going to have at the UFC BJJ? I said, yes, no problem. So I went over there, and then Mike, it's a very talented athlete, and then I was there just to coach him and help him to conquer another a title in his career.
Prof, what can you say about this development right here? Because I can only imagine, it's got to be huge for jiu-jitsu that UFC has their own reality show with regards to that, and their own competition, and now there's actually a recognized UFC Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion.
Yes. So for me, I'm super excited. Why? Because I think everything Dana White touches, it turns huge. So that's the reason I'm super excited, and I think he wants to take jiu-jitsu to the next level, and I'm super excited to see what is gonna take it. I remember the first time when they bought UFC. So that's when I moved to United States, was 2007, and then UFC was going up and down, and then when Dana White got involved on it, he took it to the next level. I think that's what he's going to do with jiu-jitsu. Wow. Jiu-jitsu is growing.
Exciting times.
Jiu-jitsu is growing, but I think now with UFC is going to take it to the next level.
And now there is a lot of buzz regarding the first Filipino American world champion, Jalen Fonasher. I want to ask you about him in a bit, but before that, I noticed something on your Instagram, one of your most recent posts, and we're just talking about the UFC. You were on a boat with one of the greatest ever, Khabib Nurmagomedov. So what's happening there? What's the story behind that post?
It's just we got together. We were in Greece. We got together, and then luckily for me as well. And then we got to train a little bit. I got to feel it. And then yes, I have been telling about Khabib for so many years, but by watching him, I can see that he has jiu-jitsu. His jiu-jitsu is next level. And I tell people say, Khabib, what do you mean? I mean, his jiu-jitsu is next level. Why? Because he controls people. Mean what? There's a lot of people, they do jiu-jitsu, but they scramble a lot. In his situation, he doesn't let people scramble. Mean what? He touches your leg, he's gonna control you. He wants you to scramble. He wants you to come all the way up, and then he's gonna take you down again. He wants you to come all the way up, and he's gonna take you down. Why he's doing that? Because he wants to get you tired. And when he gets you tired, that's he gets on the top, and then that's when he submitted people. And then I had the chance to train with him, and then I felt a little bit, he's trying to do exactly the same with me as well, right? So, I mean, Khabib, his jiu-jitsu, it's next level. And I think the most important, I mean, jiu-jitsu, yeah, anybody can get good in jiu-jitsu. I think training over and over and over with consistency and discipline, we can get good. But even his character, and he's such a great human being. You know, I spent time with him, like, you know, a few hours, I mean, and talk to him about his mindset. It's next level.
Wow.
It's next level. So, yeah, if you have a chance one day, you know, meet him, Khabib, he's, I mean, something else, next level. Jiu-jitsu beautiful, but even though, as a person, great human being.
So he's in shape. He's still in great shape.
He's in great shape. He was like, I'll say like 105 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and but I mean like a bear. Yeah. So.
Do you feel like he retired? Sorry, I'm diving into this because you're giving us so much information. Yeah. Do you think that he retired too early from the UFC?
No, you know, it's hard to say. It's hard to say because, you know, I think it was 19-year-old, I think something like that in his career. And I think now he can enjoy life. He's 35. He's 35 and he's living the life. He was telling me, Cobrinha, I'm going all over the world and I'm having fun. I'm eating. He likes to eat.
Yeah.
And I think what it is I think he works so hard, and then he retired. People say he's young, but I would say no, because people say, if you ask him, what are you chasing? You chasing money? He say, no, I'm not chasing money. It's a legacy. That's my legacy. I'm not chasing money.
Yeah.
So, and then now he's enjoying life.
Yeah.
He's enjoying life. He goes, you know, all over the world and he's having fun. That's the beauty of it. So I think, you know, the early you can retire and then, you know, explore. Like, look where I'm at right here, exploring, you know, the beautiful culture of Philippines. So that's beautiful, right? So the more I think that's one of the gifts you can give to yourself is traveling all over the world.
That's
and
awesome
get to know
perspective
people.
right there.
It
That's
is.
awesome perspective because sometimes you stay in something too long and then that's when, you know, you start to see some chinks in the armor.
That's correct. That's right too. And then we know that the mindset of the competitors, I think it's better for you is to start and then finish on top. If you can finish on top, that's next level, right? And sometimes I see a lot of athletes, they can't finish on top and then they go, you know, through a lot of things in their lives.
All right, now we get to one of the most hyped about topics. Jalen Fonacher.
Yes.
I was reading some of his posts just a while ago, and he was really giving you a lot of credit. Tell us about him, 19-year-old jiu-jitsu phenom.
You know, Jalen started with us when he was seven years old, okay? And Jalen, I don't know here in the Philippines, but in my country, let's say that in story very quick to make this long and short story. In my country, you let's say that I play football for such a long time, but they tell you if you play really good, okay, so and then you don't go to school anymore. You're gonna focus on football because that's what you're good at, yeah. So, but then now go back to United States. I think it's different. And Jalen, full-time student and training jiu-jitsu. And then he made it. So meanwhile, I think the message, that's what I keep telling Jalen, I think you're a great message to tell people that you're so, because there is there are two things we have in life. You have street smart and book smart. He has both.
Wow.
Right, and I think, and for myself, that's Jalen, it's beautiful. I get so emotional seeing this kid because he works so hard. So, but Jalen, at 19 years old, full-time student, and he made it possible, and then showing the world that you can have both. You can have, I want to repeat that once again, you can be street smart and book smart. He took it to the next level, 19 years old. And this competition, when he fought like this guy he's fighting right now, is Thales, amazing an athlete. I think he's 2 times a world champion. He's a veteran already. And then Jalen, just 19 years old, but he showed that the maturity at this competition. Like he has been black belt for 10 years, 15 years, because the maturity he showed. Because again, the IQ, it's next level, because sometimes you get over there, he's just 19, and the other kids, I think they are 27, 28, 29. But the maturity, the IQ he showed in those fights is next level. Yeah. That's the next level.
He refers to you as dad, actually.
Yeah,
he wrote that down on his Instagram post. Did you see the greatness in him right away? I mean, even before the age of 10. I mean, you were already with him.
At 7 years old, it was unbarring people from right and left. Beautiful. But again, I think the beauty about this kid is the dedication. The dedication. It's unbelievable because people think that his talent is talent. But I think talent, it's not enough. I feel like the discipline can beat intelligence, right? And also can beat talent as well. But he has this combination. That's my son with him. Oh, this fast. That's Jalen. That's
wow.
Yeah, so look at the. So yeah, I'm so proud of this kid. He proved to the kids as well that it's possible, to do both.
So at 19,
yes,
I guess one of your pieces of advice will be for him to retire before he's 30. If he can travel, if he can do everything.
Yeah, I think but why not, right? If you can, right? If you can, why you keep going? So I went, because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. When you get, let's say that I'm 20, let's say that someone is 29 and they're gonna turn 30 this year, you're master already, okay? And then you can fight in a different division. But fighting as an adult, and I went all the way to 37, I was about to turn 38, and I was refusing to fight as a master division, and I went adult, because I was doing well. And then I think then I got a lot of messages for people saying that, Cobrinha, should I do master? Because you did master in 238. I say, listen, do master first. If you dominated master, and then you can go adult, right? So, but yeah, so I think if go back to Jalen, I think if Jalen can retire at 30, why not? Enjoy life, I mean, not that we enjoy life in competition, but I'm saying that travel more, right? Because I was not traveling that much. I was traveling, but I was going, for example, I couldn't spend time in the country I was going. I could not explore the countries. Why? Because my mind was just thinking about the competition. But now, when you retire, right now I'm retired from the competition. I'm just coaching. And then what I can do, I can come to Philippines, have fun, explore this beautiful culture, and then go back home and then, keep doing my thing back home.
Well, Prof, we're so thankful that you still come back here to the Philippines and impart your knowledge and wisdom, giving us your time as well. What is your message to everybody watching right now as we continue to grow jiu-jitsu here in this part of the world?
My message to all of you who, whatever you do, it's always remember, you have the mission, your goal. You see the goal, you see the picture. You have to believe in that. You have your purpose, and then with the consistency, discipline, and perseverance, you're gonna take anything to the next level.
There you go. Thank you so much,
my pleasure.
Professor Ruben Charles. Thank you so much for coming here to the Scorecard, and enjoy the rest of your stay here in the Philippines.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Up next, the heat turns up in the PBA semifinals. TNT needs a response fast, or rain or shine might just steal the momentum. And over on the other side, Ginebra's young guns are firing on all cylinders. But San Miguel has been here before. It's experience versus energy. Who blinks first? Stay tuned and keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. I am so hyped up for this. We're deep into the PBA Season 49 Philippine Cup semifinals, and things are getting spicy. 2 big games. 4s are on deck at the Mall of Asia Arena, and after Sunday's statement wins, we've got a full-blown momentum shift. Simulan natin. So rain or shine. Game 3 was a masterpiece from Mr. Anton Roxas. He started off cold but caught fire in the second half, and suddenly TNT is down by 20 plus. That buzzer-beating 4-point play to end the third, that was a remember me moment. Coach Yang Yao clearly believes in this group's fight, and they finally played like they belong. Meanwhile, TNT, they look off. No RR Pugoy. Calvin Oftana was kept in check, and their bench couldn't keep the rhythm. The question now is, can they recalibrate? Or did rain or shine just unlock something? This series is suddenly about guard play and shot making. If TNT wants to close this thing out, they need Oftana to bounce back big. But rain or shine, they just need to bottle up that Game 3 energy to uncork it again. Now let's talk RJ Abarientos. The rookie is putting in grown man work, 18 in the fourth quarter, nearly notching a triple-double. He took over like he's been in the league for a decade. Now, Tim Cohn has to be grinning from ear to ear, especially with Jamie Malonzo throwing it down and Scotty Thompson being Scotty Thompson. San Miguel, though, is a proud, battle-tested team. Don Troliano showed up. Junmar Fajardo, he still posted a double-double, but they looked sluggish in transition. And when Abarientos and Malonzo started running, it was curtains. Now, Game 4 is a pivotal game. Ginebra wins, they go up 3-1 and smell blood. San Miguel wins, though. It's suddenly a best-of-3, and the momentum flips again. Expect fireworks early and maybe another Ronjay Abarientos explosion late. This semifinals, both of them actually serving a lot of heat. Two teams almost on the ropes, two looking to land knockout punches with rookies rising, veterans grinding, and coaches pulling every card. The PBA is peaking at the perfect time. So stay locked in as the road to the PBA Finals takes another dramatic turn. It's win or go home energy for these teams. Who's got the edge? Let's check it out. And that's a wrap on our semi-spotlight. The stakes couldn't be higher. Will Ginebra put the Beermen on the brink? And can rain or shine keep their fire alive against TNT? Tune in, lock in, and keep your eyes on the prize. Now, before we go, think on this. From the youngest American woman to win the U.S. Open at 19 in 2023 and claimed her second Grand Slam at the 2025 French Open, defeating world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka, Coco Gauff once said, "My future isn't limited to tennis. I want to create, lead, and empower beyond the baseline." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.